This is Cosmo having a tantrum. This is just to show you what a piggy tantrum can look like. They can be very destructive, and we're going to try to address destructive behaviors and enrichment in this video. Hey YouTube, today we're going to be talking about behavior and enrichment for your mini pig. One leads right into the other, but both are very important topics, things that you need to know about before getting a mini pig. One of the number one things that is extremely important before we get into even more about behavior and enrichment is spaying and neutering your mini pig. It seems like it would only be a problem if you plan on having multiple mini pigs, but in reality it affects their behavior incredibly. If you do not spay and neuter your mini pig at an earlier age, they do develop these bad behaviors with full-on tantrums and aggression issues and things like that. I highly recommend over and over again to spay and neuter your mini pig first and foremost before you start figuring out other long-term behavioral issues or boredom or anything like that. Enrichment is essentially considered the process of providing a stimulating environment for your pet. Enrichment is a term used by zoos and rescues and other pet owners all over the place for all different sorts of animals to basically exactly that, enrich their daily lives with something more mentally stimulating or physically stimulating. So enrichment activities ideally would offer an outlet for more natural behaviors. So things they would normally do in the wild, or they would just naturally do in your yard if you're keeping a mini pig indoors. Doing enrichment activities indoors with them will help them, simulate a lot of the activities they would normally do on their own outside. Ideally, these are things you want to do daily with them. It could be as simple as sprinkling some treats across the yard so that they can forage for them and root around, or it could be more complicated, like some of the toys we'll show you today, or like treat dispensers and things, or the ball pit and a little kiddie pool, but all of these things should be used to varying degrees and should be mixed up throughout the days, and shouldn't just be something you do the same thing every day. Otherwise, it's not really enrichment anymore. It just becomes part of their routine. It should be something that you change it up every day and give them something new to do, and you will have a very, very happy and healthy mini pig if you continue to provide them with different enrichment tools. This particular toy that Cosmo has is called the Bob-A-Lot interactive dog toy. This one has adjustable openings at the top and bottom to accommodate different size treats and things, and that way you can regulate the difficulty of how your pig can get to it and how much they have to move things around. It does make a lot of noise on hardwood just because pigs love to toss it up in the air. They flip everything with their nose, but it does do the wobbling effect that it's meant to do, and if you have it on a rug or something like that, it's not a big deal. This one is called the Push and Pop. It's an interactive slow feeder, like treat dispenser. Basically they nudge it in a certain direction and mechanically the bottom pops the treats straight out of the hole and makes them pop up. It's a fantastic idea. The only issue with it as far as the pigs go is, again, they do like to flip things, so they can flip the whole thing sometimes. You gotta watch them. The other thing is that I have found is that on very slick flooring, it is hard to sometimes get traction and will not always roll enough, the little wheel mechanism inside enough to actually pop a treat out. I added a couple of little fishing weights to the inside of it on purpose so that it would weigh enough to stay down, add some traction, and now every time he pushes on it, it'll pop up a treat. This one is one of the many treat dispensing balls that Kong brand dog toys make. This one in particular, Cosmo can get treats out of pretty quickly just because it rolls so easily, but it's still a great way to give them a little bit of time with their food, and they take their time with it, and they can eat a little bit slower if you put their actual regular pellet food in there. So it makes it not so easy for them to just eat, just sit and eat. Makes them a little more active. In the end, these are just some of the basics. Remember that I'm not a behavioral expert. I mostly work with the medical end of things, so if you're having any more questions about something that your mini pig is doing, look up different sources online. There's lots of behaviorists online that can probably help you out. Reach out to your local veterinarian and see if they know of anyone or have any resources locally as well.